Yeah, thank you. To be again here, and I'm seeing that a substantial majority has come today. So it seems that it is being taken to some extent. But of course, there is no doctrination, and I'm against all kinds of doctrination. So first of all, I would like to invite any questions from yesterday's talk or otherwise based on yesterday's talk from anyone, and then I'll proceed further. So, no one has any question. Now, please.
So, when we are talking about reality, so we are trying to establish the existence of something, right? So, suppose there is this table. So, when do we say that there is this table? Because we perceive the existence of the table, hence the table exists?
No, first of all, in this we have to.
Hence we perceive.
No, we are looking at that problem of existence itself, and first of all we have to define the term table. What exactly is table? Let's define, and then we will identify on certain basis that the term defined as table matches the description of this, and that also as perceived by you. So, for example, in theoretical computer science, one defines certain terms, attaches some symbols to them, and decides the rules of inference also, interrelationships between those terms, and then proves certain theorems and corollaries, and then he thinks of some application of whatever exercise he has done. That has been happening. Let's say Lorentz transformation in physics. Lorentz gave those transformations long time back. He was a mathematician. Albert Einstein, he looked at those transformations and he applied to special relativity. So this way mathematicians, they do their job, and they do their job of creation, and then other people take up application. So for everything we have to look at the definition. And the notion of existence which you said, that itself has to be seen. What do you mean by existence? So these notions are complex, because we are talking about the same thing. What is real? We have to define reality. Reality is defined in different ways by different people. Let's say an Advaita Vedantist says that whatever is eternal, surpassing the flow of time, is real. That is by definition. Whatever is not eternal is not real, because it is subject to change and it will change. So that is the definition of reality, and then it says we attach the term Brahman to that existence which is eternal, and we will call it Brahman, and some people may call it omniscient spirit. So mota moti we can say that whatever appears to me, let's say, is not eternal, hence not real. Otherwise it exists temporarily. Like pictures on, as I told yesterday, frames of pictures on the screen is real, not the pictures, because they are keeping coming and going. So like this. Now, yesterday two things were left to be discussed. One thing is, some people say that the appearance of the world, whatever we see, is a projection of our own mind. It has been said in many Vedantic scriptures that our mind has projected, so we see. Particularly if you look at Yoga Vasisht. Yoga Vasisht is the scripture with Vasisht Muni, who was the Kul Guru of Lord Shri Ram when he was born as a son of Raja Dasharath, and he was Kul Guru. And Shri Ram Chandraji was passing through a lot of depression. He had tremendous renunciation. Vairagya, Yoga Vasisht starts with Vairagya Prakran. Ramchandji has lot of Vairagya, developed lot of Vairagya. इसमें कुछ नहीं है, कुछ नहीं रखा, सब कुछ भोगेंगे. Yesterday as I told you about sand, कुछ मिलेगा नहीं इसको भोग के. तो क्या करें? तो कुल गुरु वशिष्ठ जी says, now you have come to the right state of mind. Now you are fit to be receiving this knowledge, which is the eternal knowledge. So that is the primary prerequisites of the qualification of an aspirant after the final knowledge. Now let's say let's look at different terms which have been said. Yoga Vasishtha is a very interesting granth. Please read this, it is available. Some people, some abridged versions also are there, and actually it is thick in Sanskrit, but its translations are also available. English or translation also, Hindi translation also. It is one of the English summary of Yoga Vasishtha is published as The Word Within the Mind, published for some place in London. I read that in New York, so I came to know about Yoga Vasishtha. And I have no full this thing, very well known. Now, two other scriptures of Advaita Vedanta is one is Ashtavakra Gita. Yesterday I made some reference to Ashtavakra Samhita. Exact name is Ashtavakra Samhita. The dialogue between Raja Janak and sage Ashtavakra. Raja Janak also was a Brahmagyani. Brahmagyani means having got the eternal knowledge, knowledge of the eternal. That is the definition of Brahmagyani. He knows Brahman. Brahman is the ultimate entity which is existing, eternal, and we call it God. According to Shankara's Advaita, Brahma combined with its power, full power, is God, and Brahma combined with partial power is Jeev. We are all Jeev, we are also Brahman, but with partial power. Lord God is Brahman with full powers. So this is how Shankara tries to describe it, but of course it is said that it is not communicable. Whatever Brahman is, you cannot fully communicate, because once you are knowing that and you are in that state of mind where you have full knowledge of Brahman, you are one as like salt all merging with ocean. So you are one with. And in Yoga Grantha, this is called Samadhi, state of Samadhi. In Bhakti Grantha, it is called Bhagavad Darshan or Bhagavad Gyan. And in knowledge, in Upanishadic language, it is called Atma Gyan, Brahma Gyan, like this. And in English, you may call it self-realization, self-discovery, or ultimate truth, knowing ultimate truth. In fact, knowing this, one becomes Brahman. Brahmavid Brahmayu Bhavati, it is said. The person who knows Brahman fully, he is Brahman. He is. That's why Swami Vivekananda ji said that you are the creator of your own destiny. Means, if you attain Brahma Gyan, then you have full powers also, and you can create whatever you do. But these are complex issues, and they will depend upon realization. Realization means coming to that state, which I referred to yesterday in Off and On, coming to that state. And it is a state of mind. In Kenopanishad, I will not be able to read the exact Sanskrit, but it means there is a verse which says that which cannot be comprehended by mind, but which gives mind its power to comprehend. Know that to be Brahman. So, Sri J. Krishnamurti, the great philosopher, he has also hinted towards that. Most of his teachings, lectures and writings, they are towards understanding the processes going on within the mind. Because ultimately mind is the instrument through which we perceive. And even in physics, we perceive as per our organs of perception, eyes, ears, tongue, skin, like that. So, whatever data we collect from these organs, and in between the brain or spinal cord, which is the hardware where it gets connected, in between there is a entity called sense organs, sense, and then brain, and subtle brain in Indian Shastras is mind. Though in Western literature, mind is separate from brain. Mind may be likened to software and brain may be likened to hardware. But in Indian scriptures, both are part of the same entity, like psycho-physical complex. Physical is the brain and psychological is the mind. Now, everything which we perceive, since mind is the organ for perception, everything is a state of mind. Happiness is a state of mind, misery is a state of mind, depression is a state of mind. All these states, fear, phobia is a state of mind. So they are all interconnected. So we cannot separate one from another. Now, if you look at the psychology books and articles of current days, they are going to that extreme. They are touching, they are fusing into whatever facets of reality which we have talked about. And even I was looking at one translation, one commentary of Bhagavad Gita by one lady who was a psychotherapist in New York City, and she then got initiation by one Indian monk, sadhu in Himalayas, and she was doing all her therapy through Bhagavad Gita. And Lepes, I think her name is Lepes, with first name is with N and second name is Lepes. This thing, I bought it and I went through it. So she was using just Bhagavad Gita for all kinds of dealings with mind. And of course, the Western psychology deals with pathological cases, while Indian psychology deals with pathological and healthy cases, both. So that is the basic difference. Otherwise, they both deal with mind, and mind is organ for perception. Kenopanishad says that it cannot perceive the ultimate, but ultimate gives its power to perceive anything. So it becomes complex. But then it is said that after realization, you are one with the entity which is responsible for everything. Now, there is one book also called Avadhut Gita. Avadhut was Dattatreya Avadhut. Dattatreya is considered to be one of the Vishnu avatars, and he was a great learner in his life. He was going and he saw a heron, Bagla, and Bagla was very much concentrated towards catching a fish. So he pranamed Bagla stark, and he said that I pranam to you as my guru, because to learn your power of concentration, you have that aim, so you are concentrated on that. You can't hear anything, you don't hear anything around you, so that I should learn, like that. So both of these, as I talked to you yesterday, they talk about the middle path. In Ashtabak Samhita, it is said that I neither believe nor disbelieve. I neither act nor engage into inaction. Action and inaction, they are part of the two sides of the same coin. So I don't engage. Suppose it comes to mind whether I should do work, I should do self-study, I should do my experiment in the lab. So you decide to do something, so it becomes action. And you say, oh, I'm not going to the library, though I have to read a book. So this is inaction, engaging into inaction. Both have to be avoided. So what to do? How to do like that? So there comes mystic teachings of mystics. Let's say Shri Ram Krishna, he was a really very great, Swami Vivekananda called him senior most of the avatars. There is one verse in Sanskrit which is written by Swami Vivekananda, Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarv dharma swarupine avatara varishthaya Ram Krishnaya te namah. So स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य, धर्म की स्थापना करने वाले, सर्व धर्म स्वरूपिणे, सभी धर्मों के स्वरूप you understand, form of all religions, अवतार वरिष्ठ, senior most of all the avatars, incarnations, to that Ram Krishna I bow down. This is written by Swami Vivekananda as a prayer to his guru Shri Ram Krishna. Shri Ram Krishna, Max Muller or one of the two said that he is the result of 3,000 years of Indian tapasya of Indians. Shri Ram Krishna came after 3,000 years of tapasya. He is that. Anyway, for most of the people, he is a mystic and great saint and guru of Swami Vivekananda. That is good enough. Those who feel that he has some incarnation type of existence, he was here for about 150 years back. He was born in 1836 and left this abode in 1886. Swami Vivekananda was 1867 to 1902. 63, yeah. 1863 to 1902. So, Swami Vivekananda and Shri Ram Krishna, something like 27 years to 28 years difference of age. And Swami Vivekananda left his body in 39 years, and Shri Ram Krishna in 50 years. And Adiguru Shankar in 31 years only. He went from Kerala, his birthplace. I have been there, I think, Kaladi, near Cochin airport. Once I went to Cochin for official work and I had to take a flight. So my taxi wala, he said that, sir, if you have 1 hour, then I can take you from airport to Kaladi, just maybe 5-10 kilometers from there. We went to Kaladi. And from Kaladi, he went to the tip of north to Kedarnath. And then he had taken a vow to visit his mother at the time of her death. Only with that condition, she allowed him to become a monk. So when he sensed that mother was in trouble, he came all the way on foot to Kerala, Kaladi. And then he was on the bedside of mother when she expired. Then he came again to Kedarnath where he left his body. So, and then he wrote commentaries on so many things, Bhagavad Gita and many Upanishads, and he revived the monastic cult and Advaita Vedanta. And he was a great devotee also, not just Advaita Vedanta. Vivek Chudamani, his main contribution, commentaries of Bhagavad Gita and many Upanishads, Brahma Sutra. In fact, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra and Bhagavad Gita, these are 3 tripods of knowledge, in which Bhagavad Gita is considered to be supreme, and Brahma Sutra is quite tough. Because you see, it is said that some people say Brahmagyan can be obtained by a monk only. Unless you take sannyas, you cannot get Brahmagyan. Brahmagyan means ultimate knowledge. In Kathopanishad, which is dialogue between Yamraj and one student Nachiketa, Yamraj says, Nachiketa, he wanted to give something to Nachiketa because of his dedication and sincerity for knowledge, etc. So he asked Yamraj, give me that knowledge by which everything is known. And that is defined to be Brahmagyan. Now he wanted Brahmagyan, and Yamraj could impart it because he was supposed to be fully a good teacher of, he was a Brahmagyani and good teacher of Brahmagyan. He said, take me everything of the world, take all the riches, all the gems, and so many things, what we say, enjoyment of the world. For, let's say, for boys, a lot of girls, for girls, a lot of boys around, just to let them enjoy each other, like that. He said, no, I don't want any of these, I want Brahmagyan. So he stuck to it, and ultimately Yamraj had to yield, and he said, Brahmagyan will be given to you. So Brahmagyan is that knowledge by which everything is known. How does it work? That's a very interesting thing. Today I may talk a little bit about my experience, how I connect to general knowledge with Brahmagyan. I don't say I'm a Brahmagyani because it is self-contradictory. Because once I say I'm a Brahmagyani, I'm not a Gyani. If I say I'm not a Gyani, maybe I know Brahman. So it can't be said. So it is like that. Anyway, suppose you have Brahmagyan. Brahmagyan is like, suppose at Dalton's time it was atomic theory. Once you know atom, you know everything. That was claimed. Then now strings and other finer particles are being perceived. Then those who know, they say, I know everything. Physicists, some physicists. Now, many physicists are also coming to that point where after extrapolating these things, maybe at the grassroots level, as an extrapolation, maybe there is something like a screen on which everything is projected, which in our traditional Shastra is called Brahman. So people are converging to one point. That is the interesting thing. They are converging. Now Shri Aurobindo talked about super consciousness, super mind. Now, I feel and many other people feel that with your mind, you have a sphere of influence with some intensity. So these are subtle forces working. For example, for all mobile phones, there is a microwave coded to that number and existing and impinging upon you and the instrument handset. So similarly, with your brain, you are interacting with the entire cosmos. Of course, it has certain area of influence not just physical area, but the people you are connected to, people you are attached to. Sometimes you have a notion that someone is remembering me and a phone call comes. So you say, oh, I remembered you, no phone call comes. So maybe some will call it telepathy, lot of experiments have been made in these areas. And in my opinion, these are all existing. They are not just invalid, they cannot be ignored just because we cannot perceive. Just like that microwave we cannot perceive by our organs, except that some instruments will say that yes, microwave exists of this vibration, this frequency, like that. So, point is, now how does faith of God, existence of God, can be integrated to this knowledge? Because finally, as Shri Ram Krishna, why I quote Shri Ram Krishna? Shri Ram Krishna integrated everything. Everything, all religions, karma kand. I say that all religions are karma kand with different karma kands of the same religion. It's just one religion and all are different karma kands. Like in Sanatana or Hinduism, the Shaiv karma kand, Shakt karma kand, Devi ki puja, Shiv ki puja, Vaishnav karma kand, Vishnu Bhagavan ki puja. Like that. So Islamic karma kand, Christian karma kand with different symbols, different rituals, different ways, but just one religion, because Shri Ram Krishna did experiment in life to prove this point, because he reached Samadhi after doing every karma kand under a teacher. So integration of the two comes like this. You see, we want to have, as I said yesterday, we want to have bliss. We want to enjoy. We don't want to feel miserable. So we don't want to feel miserable, we want to enjoy. We want to be in a state of mind where we are all enjoying. We all feel some problem when we are not able to do that. And then those of you who are with the evolved mind, they look for that source of knowledge which will satisfy their mind towards that objective. Now people term bliss as the finest aspect of sukh. Sukh is happiness. Now, then question of purest bliss and highest bliss and levels of bliss, these things were introduced by Shri Ram Krishna, and it is there. As I told yesterday from Shri Ram Krishna's parables only, that he used to illustrate with simple examples everything. For example, he says that God is existing just like, suppose you have a chick. Chick is a screen, bamboo screen. Behind that ladies are there and they can see everything happening in Darbar. But Darbari people, they cannot see ladies. In olden days in royal courts, like this arrangement. So, God is like that. Kabir Das also said, Guru jharoke baith ke sabka mujra le, jaisi jaki chakri taisa wako de. So, I give lot of importance to mystics and wise people who have attained the highest in all races, in all places people have been there. There is a book called 0 Point Meditation by one Meisner Eckhart, published in West. Meisner Eckhart, I think, was a West American mystic, most probably, maybe European also. He talked about 0 Point Meditation. What is 0 Point Meditation? You see, Atman, which is our very self, the core of our existence, just like that I told about onion peeling yesterday. So after peeling onion, peeling, whatever is existing inside, at the core is Atman, self. Now, suppose I am immersed in meditation in the core of my existence, or trying, and close to it. Then, suppose my mind deviates a little bit, then it has to come back to that point. Then it may deviate just like a tuning fork, or let's say voltmeter needle or ammeter needle. When it comes, it has to come to the point, it vibrates a little bit, then it sticks to the point, wherever it has to show the value. So similarly our mind, it vibrates on two sides of the 0 point, and it has to come to 0 point to be properly fixed. So Meinzer Eckhart, great mystic, he has talked about that. And if you look at, let's say, Zen Buddhism, or even Taoism, there are ways of meditation of all kinds. Meditation is not just with the, see, I am digressing a little bit from the main issue, but it is part of the same thing, discussing the practical aspects and why we are here to listen to this. So, meditation is for being in a state where we are proceeding towards the source of knowledge, energy, bliss, and so on, the self. And once we reach there, we will be called self-realized or Brahmagyani. Now, Swami Vivekananda classified in the lines of Bhagavad Gita. He did not give anything new. He reiterated what was in the Shastras, and as elaborated by the spiritual experiments of his master, Lord Shri Ram Krishna. And he classified these attempts as yogas, as in Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters are there, as 18 yogas, in 4 parts: Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga. In Raj Yoga, the final stage is Samadhi. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras are in that direction. They talk about Ashtanga Yoga. And Bhakti Yoga is by Narad Bhakti Sutra. And very easy for us and very easy for enjoyment, because we love the divine. What is divine? It is the essence of all the existence, and that is divine. So universal love towards that is divinity, love of divine, devotion. This is Bhakti Yoga. Jnana Yoga, when we reach the ultimate Brahmagyan, that is by our intellect, that is Jnana Yoga. We keep on doing onion peeling and who am I, and we should say not this, not this, not this, neti, neti, that is called in scriptures. We do neti even to the Brahman. You see, that is that path. Brahman, neti. And so that's where Buddhism comes. I think in Jainism also there is no Brahman, no God, ultimate God. So there they go to the ultimate by doing, it's not there even to Brahman, because we have a notion of Brahman. We imagine that this thing should be like Brahman. J. Krishnamurti ji very clearly says that it is a preconceived notion. Whatever we try to do with mind, it is a preconceived notion. So we have to be free of conditioning, in his language, free of conditioning, free of any preconceived notion. That's why whatever information we are gathering in our classes, whatever we are reading and all these things, we have to purge this out. We have to have totally free mind. But of course, by saying that we will have a totally free mind, we will again get into trap. So following J. Krishnamurti ji is very difficult. I studied in high school of Krishnamurti Foundation School, 2 years in Australia, I told yesterday, and listened to his talk in New York, and I read most of his books. But difficult to follow. He says, don't follow anyone, including myself. But we want to have a crutch whenever, see, we come to these kind of talks, we read these kind of things, only when we are in some kind of difficulty, some kind of problem, when we are looking for a solution, complex problem. So solutions, simple solution. Like Einstein said that truth has to be very simple. So Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, simplest solution. So Brahmagyan is the simplest solution. Now, but how to attain that? Then traditional people say that have a guru, Adhyatmic guru, who has to be enlightened, even if he is not highly enlightened, but he should be having enough spiritual power to transmit to you at the time of spiritual initiation. Some people don't say need of a guru. J. Krishnamurti ji said no guru is needed. Buddha said no guru is needed. Like one of his followers, Ananda, I suppose, when he was leaving the body, he said that, sir, we will become orphans after your passing. So he said that, be a lamp unto thyself, apta deepo bhav. So, be yourself enough to guide yourself. This is possible, but sometimes one feels like having a crutch. He has to have, as in Sanatan Dharma, most of people go for a guru. And Shri Ram Krishna says you don't have to worry too much about finding a guru. God himself comes as guru and he will make you, if you are sincere, give you a guru. And you don't have to worry about God also, in his existence also, as I said yesterday. God will himself make you believe in him when the time comes. Like these kind of things. Why we should believe in God? Because it gives us a crutch, it gives us a simple way, and it gives us fulfillment. We feel that there is someone who will make us happy and will keep us happy. It's not necessary to believe in God. But one believes, I also believe, because it makes things easy. And not only it makes things easy, it is there. Why? Because people say that you have to have faith in God or faith in yourself. The very core of existence self is God. So that is faith in oneself. And if you say that that is God, you believe in God. But then same God is inside, same God is in all yourself, same God is outside, same God is in non-living beings also. Like Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. These are the things which is said for him. Now, if you have faith, this is my own experience. If you really have faith, it works. At the last time, you will see positive. If you are positive, if you are following the right way, what is the right way? Means most of the traditional people say traditional scriptures, or some wise people who have attained, or if you have a good guru and you are sincere. Even if you don't have a very good guru, any guru will do. Shri Ram Krishna, Swami Vivekananda, he says that if you are sincere, you will find. Like, you know, Eklavya, the story of Eklavya, everyone knows. He made a statue of Guru, and he was considering that statue as his Guru and practicing, and he was better archer than Arjun. He made the statue of Dronacharya, Arjun's Guru. Like that. So if you are sincere, you will reach. Now, this is also my experience. I am talking about my experience because this is also my experience that at the right time, if you have earnest belief, the right help comes from positive directions. Positive forces and negative forces, they are like dipoles. And mind is a dipole. As long as mind exists, it's a dipole. Positive, negative, and eternal conflict between positive and negative. It is just because mind exists, polarity is there. Just because polarity is there, there will be conflict in the mind. It is a very basic attribute of mind. And we keep on trying to resolve this conflict. Now, once, and it can be resolved only by Brahmagyan, and that mind is extinguished, it is in communion with the existence. Now, so, like there is a saying, two sayings I am going to say, which may look funny to people, but actually it works. Like Ajgar kare na chakri, panchi kare na kam, das samluka keh gaye, sabke data ram. So it means that there is one saint, Maluk Das, he says, just like a python, Ajgar is python, it doesn't do any work, it's lying down. And panchi kare na kam, pakshi, birds, they are not doing any work. He is saying, though in my opinion birds also do some work, birds is not doing any work, are not doing any work. And Maluk Das is saying that Ram gives to everyone. In Benares we have a saying that Mother Annapurna visits everyone in the night and sees that no one goes hungry in Kashi at the end of the day. And people give a lot of stories about that, and in my opinion that is true, but you have to have that much strength of devotion and surrender to the ultimate. You plan for planning's sake, but you have to surrender everything to God. Even in Gita, you know, Lord Krishna, he tells Arjun in the last chapter, in 67th shloka, I suppose it has 72 shlokas, that one of the lines are Sarv Dharman Paritej Mamikam Sharanam Vraj. So this is the second line. First line you will see in Bhagavad Gita. It means that, hey, O Arjun, if you have not understood whatever I have told you so far in 695 verses before that, if you have not understood anything, don't worry. Don't worry. Just surrender unto me. Give me power of attorney. Surrender unto me. And I'll take you across everything. I'll give you whatever is needed. So that is the final thing. But Swami Vivekananda says in the beginning, you work, work, work. Even Yoga Vasishtha says, Vasishtha when he tells Ram, he tells Purusharth will take you across. Purusharth means your own positive work will take you across. But most of the scriptures say that grace, grace of God, grace of the ultimate, it will take you beyond the cage of mind. Because we are caught in a cage of mind. Mind is perceiving according to its tendency. So, grace versus Purusharth, it has been talked very much in the scriptures and in writings of saints. And it keeps on going in the mind whether we should keep on working in some direction, in fact positive direction, or whether we should surrender. Now, ultimately surrender comes, it has to come, because there is a singularity. You have to cross the singularity to come to come beyond the cage of mind, and it is done by the Guru's, as per belief, done by the Guru's power, and he helps you to meet God, being one with him. So these are kind of simple notions about me, with me, and things become simple. I will just tell you pragmatically, things become simple if you believe. Otherwise, intellectually, it's not necessary to believe. Then you don't have to disbelieve also, like Avadut Gita, Ashtavakra Samhita, and Yoga Vasishtha. So now I'll ask questions. Some questions, then we'll proceed further. We'll be here because my speaking, even in my classes, you know, 1 hour classes, 10 minutes for taking attendance, 100 people, 10 minutes discussions, half an hour on my delivery. So now it is about 40 minutes. So what I will do, I'll ask questions, invite questions, and we'll discuss, and we will try to go as far as we can. Like people will come to Krishnamurti ji, and his works are very good. They clean the mind also, you know, because they decondition the mind. And you have to get deconditioned. You have to unlearn everything that you have learned. Learn means information. You have, in brain, storage of the brain, you have put lot of information. You have to clean it. You have to make it free so that it is free to feel everything. But please don't try to purge information out of your brain. You may become crazy. One may become crazy also. So don't do anything. Let things happen. Be very sahaj. Sahaj means as you are, let it be, and you will be guided, because no one will be liberated. It is said in Shastras, until you have Brahmagyan, ultimate knowledge. Unless you reach the goal, you will be not spared. So everyone has to reach the goal. Be happy, and there is nothing to worry. In Bhagavad Gita, you see the 18 chapters, 700 shlokas, initially I read so many times the entire thing. Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhi used to emphasize 55 to 72. There are 72 shlokas in second chapter, which is yoga of Sankhya Yoga, yoga of knowledge essentially, is that, and that is Siddhi Pragya se Lakshana, symptoms of a Siddhi Pragya, the person who is established in wisdom. I like Bhakti Yoga chapter 12, which has only 20 verses, about 13 or 14 to 18th. And one of them I have fixed now, which is 17 verse, and I try to follow in my life. Yona Hishrati, जो ना कभी बहुत हर्षित होता है, खुश होता है, हिष्यति, यो न हिष्यति न द्वेष्टि, न किसी से द्वेष करता है, no enmity, no negative thought towards everyone, यो न हिष्यति न द्वेष्टि, न शोचति, he is not anxious also, he doesn't enter into any kind of anxiety. The shoti na kanchati, kanchati means no akansha, no desire for anything. Later on I will tell you some addition by Shri Ram Krishna on this. And the kanchati, shubha shubh parityagi, this is very important step, shubh or ashubh dono ko chhod diya ho. So he is not moving either towards shubh and nor moving towards ashubh. So he is not trying to choose between good and bad. But please don't do that. In the beginning you please go for good deeds. Later on you will come to that state where you will see, oh, everything is done by God, shubh ashubh everything. So why worry? And let through this body and mind complex, whatever is done, shubh or ashubh, that is okay. Shubha ashubh parityagi, he has left shubh work, ashubh work both. Bhakti manya samay priya. The person, a devotee such as this, is very dear to me. So if you just take a gist of everything that is given in Bhagavad Gita, as in this slok, all these 5-6 attributes, that is more than enough. In fact, in my opinion, if you take hold of one, the foremost important thing is truth, satya. If you stick on to truth, inside and outside, truth, then you are bound to succeed. In our national emblem, Satyameva Jayate, we have Satyameva Jayate. Satya ki vijay hai. Now, you have to be very cautious about this. People say, oh, if I speak truth, oh, I will lose the case. Because those people who don't speak truth, who are dishonest, they win the case. And they get a lot of money, position, ye wo. But the point is, the person, if he speaks untruth, indulges into untruth, he will be caught in so many things, because he will have a split brain. He will, all the time he has to make adjustment to the untrue. And if you speak truth, your mind is free. Whenever whatever comes, so you speak the truth. Now, Satyameva Jayate, in what direction you will win? In the right direction, for the right thing, and that is towards knowledge, ultimate love. You will win in that direction, and that is the right direction. So this thing is very important. This addition is very important. Satyameva Jayate for the ultimate. And of course, one thing I apply to me, because because some people say it is ominous. Some people say Ram's name comes here, so it is anti-national or unsecular. But you see, we say Ram Nam Satya hai at the end of when the corpse is being taken. So I say Ram Nam Satya hai, Satyameva Jayate. So Ram Nam Jayate. Putting an equation there. So anyway, this is something to be seen. So Satyameva Jayate, Ram Nam Satya hai. So now questions. Sir. No. Worship has nothing to do with this spirituality. As I told you, you have to believe in. You don't have to believe in God. No ritual is required. If something gives you happiness, gives you satisfaction, some ritual, do that ritual. If it doesn't give you happiness, doesn't satisfy you, don't do any ritual. Ritual has nothing to do with spirituality. A person who is engaged into good deeds, even if he may be a Marxist, he is spiritual.
What about the karma kand?
Karma kand means set of rituals to achieve a goal.
So that is truth actually. Karma kand is.
No, karma kand is a very tricky thing because Vedas have three parts. One is karma kand, and one is prayer, and one is knowledge. Knowledge part is Upanishads. Prayer part, of course, we understand prayer to the ultimate, and karma kand is various set of karmas. For example, let's take the definition of system, what we have. Now, suppose I have a software system. I am a computer scientist, so I am talking only in that language. We have software system. So we have to follow a certain algorithm. So a set of steps to achieve solution of a problem. Similarly, some ritual set of steps, rituals, 4 बार घंटी बजाना है, 108 बार मंत्र पढ़ना है, मंत्र को जोर से पढ़ना है, मन में पढ़ना है, हनुमान जी की चालीसा पढ़नी है, हनुमान अष्टक संगत भोजन पढ़ना है. अगर आपको अच्छा लगता है आप करें, और कर्मकांड भी आपको रिजल्ट देगा, but provided you do rightly. But very few people are expert in right कर्मकांड, so better not. For my practice, I don't know कर्मकांड very much. I don't see many people knowing it. So I just do by my Shraddha. Though Lord says, Arjuna asks him, if someone is just out of Shraddha and love, faith and love, he worships you, is he better than the person who is very well versed in Karmkand and does Karmkand to attain you? Though Lord says in this way that Shraddha and Karmkand, the sequence of these actions, they both are, if someone has both of these is better, but of course Shraddha is enough. So I don't worry about Karmkand myself. I have heard a story that some girl, let's say in America, even here it may be, she was phobic. She was very much afraid of things, a pathological case. So went to a therapist and she asked, sir, how to deal with this? I'm very much afraid of everything. So he said that take a piece of stone, put it there, and consider it God. And you do some incense like this, waving, and it will protect you from everything. Whenever you have fear, think of it and it will protect you. She was doing that and she became highly cured. Most of her phobia was cured. So by having belief, it's a pragmatic thing. By having belief, even in some rituals, if you have happiness. Swami Vivekananda ji said to a Westerner, because in Western theology is mostly based on Dwaita. That means two entities, God and me. Because in dollar bills, you will see dollar notes, it is written, in God we trust. You see, so they also trust in God. We also believe in God. But this thing is based on non-duality. This is the only difference between the two. Otherwise, they are also as good. But there are many writers, poets, and mystics. They were believing in non-duality. Emerson, Walt Whitman, these people were monists, means Advaitic. So, and this is the thing that attracts a person of that side, this Advaitic, the self is all. So, Swami Vivekananda said, don't get caught in the ritual aspect of East. We see so many rituals being done by our ladies, ourselves. For example, little ritual I do, I don't do much ritual. In the morning I take Ganga Jal and just pour it on Shivling by saying 3 times Om Namah Shivaya or my Guru Mantra. That's all. And in the evening I wave incense to some deities sitting on the podium and put it there. That's all. And I have taken Guru Mantra from a Guru in Ram Krishna Mission, 12th President Swami Bhadeshanji Maharaj, on prayer to Shri Ram Krishna, a small mantra like Om Namah Shivaya type of thing. And now I am not able to do systematically as our Guru told, but I try to take it mentally as much as possible. Like Ram Nam, before that I used to do Ram Nam. Whenever I would feel any problem, I'll just keep on doing Ram 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 inside. And sometimes In data entry in computer, if I'll get bored and if I had to, I'll just put Ram. I used to do a lot in data entry, enter Ram Nam inside. So this is whatever you like. Ritual part, he said, Westerners don't worry about ritual part. And I'm also feeling the same way. Don't worry with ritual part. Even meditation, many people worry they're not able to meditate well. They'll close their eyes, they'll not sit in the right posture, they will not be able to close the eyes for a long time, they'll not be able to concentrate on deity. Suppose someone says, in the place of heart, have a lotus and see rising sun there, or some Hanumanji or Shivji or Durgaji or some great Sai Baba or Shri Ram Krishna, Vivekananda, sitting there like that, or here in the head, like on a lotus sitting. All these things for aiding in meditation. If you are able to do it, it's very good, because these centers and these techniques are very good for meditation. But then if you are not able to do because your mind is running here and there, bizarre, in Bhagavad Gita also Arjuna says to Lord, sir, my mind is racing like a horse, and what to do? So he guides meditation. So this is happening to many of us, particularly those who think a lot, their mind troubles them a lot also. It's a sensitive instrument and has to be delicately handled, because the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, mind is your greatest enemy as well as greatest friend. So suppose it is not acting favorably, you have to affectionately bring it to the right state. So that way mind has to be handled. It is a very delicate instrument. Now if it is not doing proper meditation, you don't have to worry. There is one thing called Vichar Yoga. Vichar Yoga means having your thoughts in a directed way. It is like a laser beam which is collimated in the same phase. If most of the wavelets they go, all the wavelets go, it is a condensed beam and it has a lot of power. Otherwise incoherent we have and doesn't have a lot of power. So if you focus inside, if you have taken a Guru Mantra and his method, some name of God, repeating inside the mind only, and thinking about the right thing, whether thing is eternal, Neti, if you keep on doing this, this is called Vivek. If you do Vivek, keep on doing Vivek in your mind, and that is called Vichar Yoga, that will also help. So it's not just closing your eyes and meditating on some prescribed way. You can do Vichar Yoga. Most of us can do Vichar Yoga. Is this thing eternal? No, it's not eternal. Let's not worry about it. It is bound to change. Any model which you feel in your mind to help you guide your course of events, it is bound to be temporary. Suppose I have a mentor and try to seek guidance from him. Then that mentor will be with you, guiding with you in your mind only for a temporary period. And that mentor will come to your mind. You feel that this thing will give you happiness, you feel you get happiness sometime, after the same thing you will be fed up with. It will not give you happiness. Same mentor not give you happiness. Not a right kind of guru, or you are not sincere, both the things, you will not succeed. You will keep on changing the guru, you will keep on changing the mentors, you will keep on changing the methods, you will keep on changing the beliefs, like this. So, since the self is the ultimate entity, that self is not your body, not your mind, not your intellect, not your anything. That is the self, and that is which is the core of your existence. That's all, and that is the basis of self-confidence, which is confidence in God. That is the basis of self-realization, which is getting the ultimate, and that's all. Thank you. You don't have to worry about? Yeah, you don't need to bother. If it helps you to concentrate and meditate, fine. If it doesn't help you, it's not necessary. In there are several ashramas of many sadhus or munis or people who are great saints and so on, and where no photo is kept, no symbol is kept, no statue is kept. Like one Advaita ashram in Mayavati of Ram Krishna Mission, one Advaita ashram in Calcutta of Ram Krishna Mission, like that. They don't, then you are not allowed to take any picture, any murti and any symbol. Just sit down and feel it is a self. And for feeling self, you don't have to meditate also in the prescribed way. Just be yourself and you are self-realized. If you can be that way, because Shri Ram Krishna also said that, oh mother, I am the machine, you are the operator. So if the body moves like a machine, like an robot maybe, which is controlled by God, you are not conscious of anything, body-mind complex is moving like a robot, fine. That is also the right state. Without doing any prescribed thing. Any more questions? Beta.
So you said that truth is, in the first question that was asked, that truth is what is eternal, that does not change over time. But can you elaborate on that, as in the table will vanish after some time, but atoms will remain. So is atom the truth? Like
No, here main thing is what exactly the notion of atom you have in your mind, and if that is real. Because you see, once we have something, some picture in our mind, then we project it on the perceived world, and after this projection we say it matches with that, so it is that. So whatever is going on within your mind, that has to be seen first, and everything has to be has to start with definition. See, I go to so many selection boards, DRDO, UPSC, universities. I have come here also for 2 times. If someone throws a keyword as answer to any question, I just ask him, okay, what is that? For example, in one person's PhD thesis, he has used the term ferromagnetism, physics experiment. Then I asked him, what is ferromagnetism? He didn't know. So, ferromagnetism, paramagnetism, diamagnetism, there are several types of magnetic states, things. So, like that. If you say algorithm, I'll ask you what is algorithm. If you say system, I'll ask you what is system. Define the system. So, similarly, when I say table, what is a table? How do you define table? Then one gets into the genesis of language and words and sentences, you see, which is the linguist area. And many computer scientists who are in NLP, natural language processing, they have to worry. And many grammarians also they have to worry. And many mystics also they have to worry. After all, where the words originate from and who assigns the meaning to them. Once my son was very young, he asked me this thing. He said, Papa, who assigns the meaning to the words? Just see that question. It's a very interesting question. I said, table. Who tells that this is table? This thing is given the meaning. So they are very fundamental questions, and once you look at them, the most fundamental question is, who am I? Ramana Maharshi was just asking everyone, great mystic, great saint. He was in Tamil Nadu most probably. Arunachalam was the mountain where he was bound, where he had his ashram, and Tirunelveli, it is in that district, something near Tamil Nadu, Kerala border maybe, somewhere. So he just said, who am I? Ask who am I? Just one question. That is enough. Truth, following truth, that is enough. Love, following love, that is enough. Whatever notion of love you have, you will rise gradually more and more higher in love until it becomes universal love. So you have to define. You see, I am a computer scientist, theoretical computer scientist. I start with definition.
So secondly, I would like to ask, you said that Satyameva Jayate and one should speak the truth even though it may have material disadvantages.
Yes.
The reason you gave was that ultimately the one who lies will suffer through internal problems and he'll have guilt and sort of thing. But what if the person who lies is a psychopath? Maybe he has been taught from his childhood that lying is good and truth is bad. So then then he doesn't have those constructs, then he won't feel bad about lying because he thinks lying is good. So
No, this happens to so many people. There are many people who are in corruption. Many people, they will say, oh, वो तो मेरी regular की कमाई है, उसमें कुछ ऊपर की कमाई जो है, वही मेरी कमाई है. Salary they forget. Salary is bound to come was the government servants. Whatever commission they get from suppliers. So, it is like that. But then, you see, as far as psychopath is concerned, whom you call a psychopath, that is an essential question, because many people with very high states of mind. This is even Shri Ram Krishna. He has, yesterday I elaborated on that, people will say it is hallucination. And if it is a hallucination, people will say it's not proper, he's not behaving. And now I think you have to worry about people around you. If they take you to be a psychopath, and they'll take you to 2 psychiatrists, and if both of them say you are abnormal, I think you will be put in a hospital. Old act is there, which if 2 psychiatrists with MD degree in psychiatry, proper psychiatrists, they declare a person mentally ill, you may be put in a mental hospital. So this old law, if it is not changed. So one has to worry about people around you also, and that's why you have to behave in a socially acceptable way, otherwise, and which changes from place to place. Whatever is acceptable, let's say in New York City, may not be acceptable here, and whatever is acceptable here, it may not be acceptable there. For example, one simple thing. For example, let's say two things, we are all grown up, we may see that. In India, suppose 2 boys or 2 ladies, they hug each other out of affection, there is nothing wrong. But in New York City, if you do that, they will call you homosexual or lesbian. Won't they? Hugging each other, they may say that you are a homosexual. Or Shri Ram Krishna, one person of Indian origin, he published a book, published from Chicago University Press, Kali the Child, I think name is Kali the Child, you may see in the net. He declared Shri Ram Krishna as homosexual, published by Chicago University Press. So no one dared to challenge Shri Ram Krishna's behavior. People have, Osho, he attacked on Swami Vivekananda. He said Swami Vivekananda said nothing new. It's all old stuff. So, but Shri Ram Krishna, even Osho admired. Everyone admires, everyone dicks. But this person, he published a book. He said that he used to touch young boys, their body, various parts, and he used to take them, put on his lap, this and that. He used to hug them, and he didn't have proper relation with his wife, so he was not a proper person. So this kind of thing. So one has to be wherever in one society is, one has to be behaving properly. So now regarding Satyameva Jayate, as I told you, for all kinds of goals, it may not be Satyameva Jayate, but for proper goal, right goal, Satyameva Jayate is there. Any more question?
Sir,
नहीं गलत नहीं है बेटा, नहीं गलत नहीं है, आप बोल सकते हो, आपको ब्रह्म ज्ञान हो जाए बोलो, हमको हो जाएगा तो हम भी बोल देंगे, लेकिन यह है कि हमारा इंटेलेक्ट ये कहता है कि अगर हम अपने को ब्रह्मज्ञानी कहें तो व्हेन आई से आई एम अ ब्रह्मज्ञानी, सो देयर इज अ स्टेट ऑफ ब्रह्मज्ञानी एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू impose on myself, because there is a conception of Brahmajnani in my mind which I want to impose on my body-mind complex, and trying to declare that this complex is a Brahmajnani and Brahmajnani should have these attributes. So there is a split. Don't you see there is a split? So if there is a split, there is no Brahmajnan, because Brahmajnan comes only when there is oneness. Like a salt doll dipping in water, ocean, it merges. So no one can say that he is a Brahmajnani. If he says that logically it is contradictory, but many people say and others also declare and feel he is a Brahmagyani, then he is a Brahmagyani. You may say that he is a Brahmagyani, she is a Brahmagyani, but that person himself, if he says that it is subject to logical contradiction, subject to, you may believe because that person is very pure and energetic and like that. Does it answer your question? मेरा मन नहीं, लेकिन ये है मेरा मन शांत नहीं है, बट मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम इट इज़ फोकस्ड. जैसे कि स्टैटिस्टिकल नॉइज होता है किसी सर्किट में, यू हैव करंट गोइंग बट कपल्ड विद दैट करंट इज सम नॉइज. तो मेरे ब्रेन में नॉइज है, उसके बावजूद वो अपनी दिशा में करंट बह रहा है. ठीक है ना, नॉइज फ्री नहीं है. इसलिए मैं म्यूज़िक सुनता हूँ, भजन, उससे मोस्टली मैं भजन पसंद करता हूँ, क्लासिकल, फिर लाइट और म्यूज़िक सुनता हूँ. सबने लाइट गज़ल बहुत अच्छा गाया हुआ, या इवन फिल्मी म्यूज़िक ऑल्सो, ओल्ड फिल्म्स, वेरी नाइस सॉन्ग्स, दैट ऑल्सो आई डू, just to feel kind of, just to quell this statistical noise around me and be more focused. This is telling honestly about my own state. So that's why I'm saying that everyone, I'm ready to discuss everything with everyone, and everything is subject to discussion. And in fact, you see the word as a projection of your own mind. If you try and test it. If you put green glasses, the whole world looks green. If you put blue glasses, the whole world will look blue, right? So if I am biased in this direction, the whole world will look biased in that way. For example, devotees will say, Siya Ram mein sab jag jani, karam pranam jor jo pane. It's Siya Ram sab jagah hai. Sab rupon mein Siya Ram hai. Swami Vivekananda also said that every jeev is Shiva. And we have to serve every jiva Shiva, or every nar is Narayana, everyone is Narayana, and we have to serve. And that he said that it is a religion of modern religion, it is practical Vedanta, it is correct. But then a psychologist will say that since I want to believe that everyone is Ram, since I want to believe everything is Ram, since I want to believe that everyone is Shiv, I impose it on others. I can say, and he's right also, because isn't it that which is happening? So the solution is see that way, think that way, and assert whatever you think is right, because you are asserting it in your own word only. You see, there are 6 billion people in the world on earth itself. Everyone is going in his own way, her own way, working, thinking with his biases, our biases. So if we keep on trying to improve myself, trying to feel more happy, trying to feel more peaceful, more resolved, fine with me. Others will go their way, I'll go my way. So it's not that you don't have to care for others, you have to care for others. जितना हम अपने लिए सोचते हैं उतना अगले के लिए भी सोचें. बाइबल में है कि यू शुड पुट योर फीट इन अदर शूज़ और लाइक दैट, समथिंग लाइक दैट. दूसरे को कैसा लग रहा है वो हमें सोचना होगा. हमारे इस वाक्य से क्या हम अपने ऊपर उसका ये कहना पसंद करेंगे? मैं कहूँ वो आदमी ख़राब है, वो आदमी मुझसे मेरा ईगो कहेगा बिकॉज ये हैज़ हर्ट माई ईगो. सुबह मैं बड़ा हूँ, मेरे छोटे भाई ने मुझको प्रणाम नहीं किया, मैं छोटा भी गंदा है, उसको मैनर नहीं आते, और टू सम स्टूडेंट प्रणाम नहीं किया. जैसे हमारे यहाँ जब रिकमेंडेशन लेना होगा तो उस दिन वही स्टूडेंट वो नमस्ते करेगा, एंड इमीडिएटली वी नो दिस फेलो वांट्स रिकमेंडेशन. और दिन क्लास में जाएंगे वो बोलेगा भी नहीं, देखेगा भी नहीं. सो या आउट ऑफ वन डे आई हियर अ फोन, सर आई एम स्पीकिंग फ्रॉम बैंगलोर, आई एम सो एंड सो ऑफ दिस बैच. हाँ भाई क्या बात है सर, एक रिकमेंडेशन चाहिए, मुझे वहाँ अप्लाई करना है. तो हम तुरंत ही समझ जाते हैं कि उनको क्या चाहिए. या समर के पहले समर इंटर्नशिप के लिए कोई लोग बात करते हैं कि फ़ोन उठा, मैं फ़लाना बोल रहा हूँ, मैं समझ गया कि उनको इंटर्नशिप के लिए बात करनी है, बेटा या बेटी के लिए, वो समर इंटर्नशिप कराना चाहते हैं. तो ये है कि you have, as I told you, if you do not exist with congenially with people around, you may be taken to a mental hospital because two people have taken you to two psychiatrists and they have declared to be mentally unstable and harmful to the society around, and you will put in a correction house. So you have to worry about people around you also. You have to keep them calm, happy, apart from your own being. But your own being should come first, because unless you are sound, how will you realize Brahmagyan? But getting Brahmagyan, you have to have strong bodies. Swami Vivekananda ji said you should have bodies of iron and nerves of steel. Something like that, he said. So you should be strong, only then you can go in this direction, that direction. So you, instead of reading a ton of books, if you make one goal in a match, put one, take one goal, put one goal, oh, that's great. Sir.
Is the purpose of life is to be Brahmajnani?
If you, actually it is in my opinion, but I will not impose it on everyone. You see, no imposition is good. I don't impose even on my son and daughter. You see, because if you feel Brahmajnani is required, you work in that direction. But whatever your mind says is the best, whatever your good sense, conscience allows you to pursue, at that moment of time, you should pursue that. Because Swami Vivekananda clearly said, to do good and to be good, to be good and to do good, that is the whole of religion. उसके लिए सब techniques है. All these are techniques. अपने मन को, रहीमदास जी said, रहीमन मन माने की बात, जिससे मन मन जाए मेरा, जिस बात से मेरा मन शांत हो, मेरा मन खुश फील करे, मेरा मन हमारा फ्रेंड हो, that's enough. वही है और कुछ नहीं, ये सब टेक्निक्स है. So should I? हाँ sir, please.
सबसे पहले तुम IIT BHU और IIT BHU के प्रोफेसर तुम्हें बात लगी, उन्होंने पहली बार भारत के सामने मॉडल पेश किया कि जो कम्युनिकेशन प्रोफेसर इंडियन ड्रेस.
हाँ, और प्रोफेसर राजीव संगल यहीं के प्रोफेसर थे, वो हमारे डायरेक्टर.
पेपर में देखी कि मानव संसाधन विकास मंत्रालय स्मृति ईरानी ने सभी यूनिवर्सिटी से भी रिक्वेस्ट किया है कि वो इंडियन ड्रेस को फॉलो करें.
BHU ने ले लिया, बाकी BHU ने भी ले लिया इस साल से. हाँ, मतलब जैसे IIT BHU ने तो लास्ट ईयर ले लिया था, इस साल पूरे BHU ने भी ले लिया इस साल. And Professor Rajiv Sangal, who is our director, who was a professor here only, and alumnus of this place, he applied it to IIT Hyderabad before this. He was a director there. So first there, then IIT BHU, then BHU, and of course it should be, because all along I was thinking when I used to graduate from any institution, that why do we wear all this toga, hood, all these things. Even as a professor in BHU, I used to wear that in the procession, and it would trouble me, you know. But now it is good. Thank you. Very good book. I try to ask everyone to read this as a first book. It's a very good book, very good book. For a young person of, let's say, 17 years of age, 16, 17 years of age, after he's coming out of inter college, 12th class, he should read. In Hindi, it is Yogi Kathamrit. It is by Paramahansa Yoganand. So it's a book, autobiography of Yogi, this thing. And in that, Paramahansa Yoganand, who was also a great saint and mystic, and after him there is Yogda Vedanta Society, based at Ranchi, Meher Ashram, near Ranchi maybe, and spread all over the world. There is an office in California also. So now I think head of that ashram is some lady, American lady, I don't know her name. So it's a great book, everyone should read, to know what exactly it is to be a yogi in India, what is a yogi, which is, what is the life and description of whom a Westerner calls a yogi. Of course, our yogi definition is different. In Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Shri Krishna, he says that yogi Definition of yogi is different. Anyone who has goal as Bhagavad Gyan or Brahma Gyan or Bhagavad Darshan, he is a yogi. And who has then, and all these 18 yogas are there. And who has attained the oneness of self with God or self-realized, he becomes a perfect person, but in the way he is a yogi. Whether he is a sadhu or not, whether he is a monk or not, it's not necessary. But I think in that book, most probably a monk is referred to be a yogi, because Western people they call a monk. But then a lot of mystics and rishis sitting in Himalayas, they have been described there. Shyamachandra Lahiri ji of Varanasi is the Guru Yuktanand. They are also described there. So it's a very good book. Everyone must read. लोग सोचते हैं हमारे यहाँ भी वैल्यू ओरिएंटेड एजुकेशन के क्लब्स हैं और हमारे यहाँ कोर्सेज हैं. यहाँ भी कोर्सेज होंगे ह्यूमैनिटीज़ के कोर्सेज ऑन वैल्यू एंड इथिक्स, फिलॉसफी, इंडियन फिलॉसफी, ये सब होगा. इंडियन फिलॉसफी होगा, सब जगह है. देखिए ऐसा है ना, जैसे हमने अभी कहा टू ईच हिज ओन, तो let it come to everyone in a very natural way. Why impose? Otherwise I will say let everyone follow Shri Ram Krishna's words and be a devotee of Ram Krishna Mission. Someone will say be a devotee of Sai Baba. Someone will say be a devotee of Sri Krishna, ISKCON. But no imposition is required. Good Christian, good Christian. Good Hindu, good Hindu. Good ISKCON member, good ISKCON member. Good this clan, good this clan. Good this sect, good this sect. Yes. Yes, yes. Actually, why a particular clan or sect becomes necessary for a person, it is for focusing the energy and intensifying the energy. Because we need a lot of spiritual energy to deal with the outer world now. It is so complex. And energy comes only when you follow some kind of spiritual discipline. Like in Buddha's time, it is said, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. मैं बुद्ध की शरण में जाता हूँ, मैं धर्म की शरण में जाता हूँ और मैं संघ की शरण में जाता हूँ. So you may attach to any kind of fraternity moving in the right direction with the right goal. So that is Sangha, your Sangha. IIT fraternity, it is a Sangha. Being an Indian, the Indian fraternity, it is a Sangha. Bharat Mata is the deity, like that. So if you find that your own energies are not enough to deal with your problems, go to a Sangha, any Sangha, take any group who is following the right direction in any way, whether it is a church, mosque, ISKCON temple, Ram Krishna Mission temple, Seva Karya, and you yourself will feel, oh, I was talking to one Ram Krishna Swamiji, I said, Swamiji, don't you think it is a business? You also sell books, candles, incense, and collect money, all that for pravachans. He said that like all other commodities, the religion is also a commodity. It may be seen as a commodity which has its market. And there are all kinds of shops with the better brand and higher value, lower brand and lower value, lower cost. So you pay the price of whatever brand you can afford and you like and follow that. Like all others. जी
मैं 100 साल बाद का इंडिया भारत देख रहा हूँ, भारत पूरे विश्व में नेतृत्व करेगा. तो आपकी क्या कल्पना है? आपका क्या?
नहीं, it is coming. It is coming. It is coming. It will take time. I think he gave the span of about 200 years. 150 years Swami Vivekananda was commemorated last year. So 50 more years, and we are finding at that time I went abroad for studies right from here in 71 after passing from here to USA, and I was there for 9 years and then came back. And then with an Indian passport we were not liked at any European port. I will tell you one instance. I was coming from New York to Israel for a summer. My guide was a professor of Israel Institute of Technology, which is called Technion, very good institute in Haifa. And I wanted to visit Israel. I was fascinated because, like Varanasi is the seat of ancient the Oriental religions, Jerusalem was the seat of Western religions, Occidental religions. So I was fascinated. So I thought that I'll get down at Greece, and then from Athens I'll take a ship to Tel Aviv, and then start my 1 month holidays there. Now, like many other European countries, in London, France, in England, France, when I was going in that direction, I got a visa to enter and move around for 1 week or 1 month at the airport itself. For Greece, I didn't worry about visa. I thought that I want to see Athens for 2-3 days, and then I'll take a ship to Tel Aviv. So I'll get the visa at the airport. Now, when I got down, I took the air ticket to Athens only. Got down at the airport, and I tried to enter. Immigration people stopped me. They said that you can't go inside. I said that, you see, I am a student and I am having enough dollars, and I just want to see sightseeing, do sightseeing Athens, and I'll take a ship to Israel. From here, it's very close from there. So he said, no, mister, you can't enter. I said, please consider my case. Now, how will I go to Israel from here, and I want to do sightseeing. Then he became very tough. He said, mister, you look like a dangerous person. You are insisting so much. Now, not only that, you will not be allowed to enter Athens, but you are asked to leave the transit lounge also by midnight to any destination anywhere. You can't stay here. You are a dangerous person. But I was seeing other countries, people, their passport, they are getting visa that way. And when Mrs. Indira Gandhi, she was our Prime Minister, she came to USA. In New York Times, which is the finest paper in the world, a very important paper, New York Times carried a cartoon on the front page. Mrs. Indira Gandhi is coming to US President with a begging bowl. You see, that was a cartoon in New York Times. So Indians were considered snake charmers, beggars, like that. But now Indian passport matters, means something. If you go with Indian passport, people can't take you so lightly. If anything happens in the world to some Indian citizen, India government, I think, takes it seriously, and it was not like before. People were just moving around like anything. So we are rising. I am very hopeful. I'll tell you a joke in this direction. Someone said that in America or somewhere in this, that how to believe in God, or what is God, how to know God, and he was confused. So a friend said, he said, how do I know that God exists? That was his major question. So one friend says, go to India and spend 1 month and you'll get the answer. He came to India, he spent 1 month here and went back. His friend said, did you ask? Did you know the answer? Get the answer to your question? He said, yes. What is the answer? God exists. Because in India everything is running fully dependent upon God, and it's running. भगवान भरोसे चल रहा है, तो भगवान भरोसे चल रहा है और चल रहा है. तो it is like that. Any more questions? Anyone? ठीक है. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak here.
Of the lecture series. So we also hope to hear from you again.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.